measure until after the video's off.
That's 3 pounds.
This is 3 pounds. Alright, here we go. Feels like more, doesn't it?
It seemed like more to me, but
yeah, if I had to guess, I would say 5.
yeah, because I just pulled 3 pounds.
That's about 5.5 pounds. Kind
Alright. Which means I have no excuse not to get to 12 inches. Alright. The better it's center, the better it is. We're talking vase, so we want to stay narrow. If you have a lot of clay, it's okay to have a tall, narrow, centered piece of clay to dig into if your intention is to have a narrow base. You know, so if you need to, it's going to be tall, which makes this dive move have to go from a heavy metal. I guess I can still get away with the heavy metal in there. I'm going to stop and measure, and that's about right. And clay spinning fast, hands moving slow. Go ahead and open that up. And I'm actually, if we can get the camera to dig in here a little bit, I've sort of opened up because it's going to be for a tall vase. So it's narrower down here than it is up here. So I have a wider piece down here. You know, this hole gets wider past here. So I've got this lump of clay, and I'm going to still try and compress my floor a little bit and clean it up there. And I'm sort of circumventing opening it all the way up. So I'm going to go ahead and compress that clay on the inside. Alright, so now let's go for a pull. No matter what form I'm going, my first pull is usually about getting a good amount of the clay up in the first pull, and also I don't concern myself as much with it, but evening it out. Throw number 2 or pull number 2, I want it as even as possible. So set your moisture content on the inside. Finger down, push the clay out over that finger, and bottom. To top. Okay, so at this point, everything. Hang on a second here. I have a little extra clay down here that I didn't notice. We're going to pretend this is my second pull, even though it's my third because I had to fix something down at the bottom. So, your second pull, we've got a majority of the height out of the clay, and we're going for something tall and thin, and I start to work in stages at this point. I'm going to make sure my rim is nice and strong, but now I'm going to pull the top third of the piece. And I'm going to thin this out to my final thickness. So I'm at my final thickness from here up. And now I'm going to go down below and do the top 2/3 and get this top 2/3 to my final thickness. And I always go ahead and finish that top section, but I'm not doing a lot of work, so I'm not stressing out the thin clay down below. And now lastly, I'm going to do that last third, make sure my hand is moist on the inside, and I'm going to go down and do this last third. So the advantages to doing it that way, yeah, we got a little bit of a twist in there, getting kind of thin. The advantages to doing it in stages like that is that if I get it the final thickness down here and I still have a lot of work to do on the clay up here, it's going to twist like crazy down there.
Yeah.
Alright, so I've got that twist down there, and we don't want it, but I'm done doing my extending. I'm done doing my pulls. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of clean this up, and I'm going to push it to my metal rib, and it's almost a pull, but it's not quite a pull. It's almost more, you know, just sort of shaping it out, scraping off that excess water. Remember, the thinner our pot is, the faster the water gets into it, because we have more surface area to clay going on. Woohoo! Alright, so I now have a tall cylinder that is ready for shaping, and we won't know if we got 12 inches or not out of that. I'm just going to clean off my bat really quick so I can see what's going on, cut a little bit of this skirt off of it. And even though in my mind I'm thinking a vase with a narrower top, I'm going to leave it wide like that until I'm done forming the bottom half of my vase. Because what's the point in making it too small to get into if I want to get in there? So I'm going to go ahead and shape the bottom section of this.
So you don't collar that top until the end?
Well, I don't want to collar it until I don't have to get past it.
Yeah.
If I'm working below it. So I'm going to go ahead and sort of shape this down here a little bit. I'm not 100% connected to my form at this moment. Having an idea of where you're going is always much nicer than making it up as you go. So I'm going to go for a kind of a standardized vase form. I think I'm going to push it out below this line. Just a little bit. Actually, I think I want my rim in a tiny bit. If you'll notice, my shaping has been water-free up until this point. When I'm coming in with my rim a little bit, and I think I want to bring it in just a little bit here. And where'd my rib go? Edge on it. And then lastly, what do we want to do to our rim? You know, do we keep it like this, or do we think a vase is supposed to be
fluted?
And there we go, a vase.